Almost 5 weeks ago now, I started my 100-day challenge to completely change my health. And I'm going to be sharing in this video the results of the first 4 weeks, including at the end, the weight I lost. Now, the aim of the challenge is not purely weight loss, and I want to really change up my health, change it dramatically and change it for life. So I've set myself just 2 rules for this challenge. The first is to reduce as much as possible my intake of ultra-processed foods. So before starting the challenge, I was horrified to learn that I was eating up to 80% ultra-processed foods every single day. I had no idea it was that high. So I want to flip that on its head and really want to be eating 80% or more non-ultra-processed foods. And the other rule is to move my body in some way every single day. I haven't set myself a minimum time requirement, I just have to move my body. So that could be a run, it could be a run walk, it could be a home dumbbell workout, whatever, just have to move my body. So how have things gone in the first 4 weeks? Now, food-wise, I'm reducing my intake of ultra-processed foods. I would say overall that's gone really well, and every day I think I have pretty much hit that goal. Sometimes more than 80% of my food is not ultra-processed, and closer to 100% on some days. Other days, there are some foods that I can't avoid. If I'm out and about, might be more of a percentage of ultra-processed foods. But overall, I have succeeded in flipping that on its head and having 80% or more non-ultra-processed foods. Now, what I would say is I have found this to be a challenging experience because I have completely changed my diet. Not necessarily the foods that I enjoy and eat on a regular basis, but I'm having to make them mostly myself, or I'm having to seek out foods which don't contain ultra-processed foods, ultra-processed ingredients, and I would ordinarily just buy whatever looked good, whatever fit my budget, whatever I fancied basically. I'm now making a lot of my own bread. I have been helped because my mum has taken pity on me and has helped me out in ordering a bread maker. They were super hard to come by, and it seemed like Panasonic bread makers, which are apparently the bread maker to have, are out of stock everywhere. So she's managed to find somewhere that was selling one, got myself a bread maker, and that has made my life easier in the past week, where I've been able to put ingredients into the bread maker, set it on a timer and just leave it. But I really enjoyed making my own bread. I just find time is hard. I work 4 long days a week as a lawyer, and I have 3 children ages 5, 4 and 19 months. So life is full on, life is hectic and crazy, but we have managed it. I'm not just changing my own diet, I'm changing the diet of my children, and by default my husband is eating the same food, so he's having less ultra-processed food. And my kids are really enjoying it. They're loving the bread. We're having real butter. I would say we have switched up our diet to having more full fat foods, because lower fat foods tend to have more ultra processed ingredients. So it seems to be that you remove the fat content from a meal, then you have to replace it with something else which tends to be ultra processed ingredients. So we've switched things up to having more of full fat products and less ultra processed ingredients. I'm having to make a lot more of my meals from scratch, and generally speaking, I'm aiming to have simple meals and making simple things, not overcomplicating it, putting things in the slow cooker where I can, doing one-pot dishes. And I have found some convenience food which is not ultra processed, actually has been relatively easy to find, pizzas that don't have ultra processed ingredients. Have to look at the back of packets and often have to spend a bit more money on food. It is a sad state of affairs, but so true that you have to spend a bit more money to get better quality ingredients. But then what I'm not spending money on is lots of snacks. So it has evened itself out, and I'm not finding that I'm spending any more on my grocery bill, which I thought I might, but I'm not. So save for the bread maker, which obviously I think the cost basically will even itself out over 2 years. That's what I've worked out, given the amount of bread that we consume, which we consume a lot as a family with young children. They like a lot of toast. But yeah, I haven't been buying as many snacks. So instead of having all the processed snacks that the kids have been having, they've been having a lot more fruit, they've been having a lot more toast for a snack, and they've been having breakfast cereals. I found a couple of breakfast cereals that don't contain any ultra processed ingredients. They've been having breakfast cereals, they've been having porridge for snack. So basically you seem to be having more meals, but that's absolutely fine. 4 small meals a day instead of loads of sugary and ultra processed full snacks is way better, right? So food, tick, done, managed to switch up my diet, and definitely 100% want to keep that. I will say the food is nicer. The food I'm eating now is much nicer, even toast, proper toast, really nice bread, real butter, peanut butter, Like, so good. Exercise wise, I have managed to move my body every single day, and I think not setting myself the time requirement has helped, because I had some evenings where I thought, I really don't have the energy, I really just want to go to bed, I have had enough today, enough of work, enough of everything, and I just want to go to bed. And then I have said to myself, like, just do a 10-minute, 15-minute YouTube workout with your dumbbells in your pajamas, don't get changed, just do it. And then I've got into it and I've felt like I could do maybe a bit more, or maybe I've just done 15, 20 minutes and then I've gone to bed. That has happened to plenty of evenings. I have been managing to run 3 times a week, and I say run, I'm very much a runner, very much consider myself a runner, but I do run walk. So I run walk in intervals, and I've been doing that 3 times a week. I'm training for a half marathon. I'm doing a half marathon on the 9th of June. And I did a half marathon in March in just under 2 hours 45, and I'd love it if I could do this one in just like 2 hours 40, just shave off like 5 minutes. That's all I'm aiming for. So that's my mission. So I'm doing like 2 5Ks during the week, I'm doing a long run on the weekend, and I'm increasing that by a mile each week basically. So I did 7 miles the weekend just gone. I'll be doing 8 miles this weekend. So I've managed to switch up my diet, have managed to move my body every day. Now my hope was that in making these changes, I would naturally find that I would lose weight without having to make like any particular effort to lose weight, without having to calorie count, because I don't have time to calorie count. I hate calorie counting. It does consume a lot of time every day, in my opinion, having to put everything into an app to work out what the hell you're eating. And often I just have time to grab like a bit of toast, a sandwich, a quick salad, whatever. I just don't have a lot of time in my day. Some days are absolutely manic. So I don't have time for that, and I don't want to do it, and it just feels like it's like a constant reminder, like you're on a diet, you're going to count everything, you can't have that and you can have this. I really don't respond well to that. So I was hoping that I would just naturally lose weight. Now, in the 4 weeks, drum roll, I don't think we did drum roll by the way, in those 4 weeks I have lost 2 pounds. Now, I would be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed with that. I am a bit disappointed in that. Now, in previous years, if I'd made big changes to my lifestyle, to my diet, been exercising, and I'd lost 2 pounds in 4 weeks, I probably would have just sacked it off, given up, and would have just gone back to my old eating habits and thought, you know, what was the point in that? And what makes things different for me now, and since the beginning of last year, in fact, is that I have really been embracing the journey, making the changes I can, and then trying new things, switching things up if they're not working for me. So 2 pounds, I mean, it's not terrible, is it? I haven't put on weight, and I have made changes to my diet in terms of switching out lower fat products, diet kind of products, for full fat ingredients, and I'm really enjoying my food. I think one of my issues might be just how much I really like fresh bread, real butter and peanut butter. I think that might be a cause of some of my issues. But that said, what am I going to be doing going forwards to switch things up? I recently stumbled upon this book. It was recommended, called Fast Like a Girl, and I want to say it's Dr Mindy Pelz, but I haven't checked that before recording this. So Dr Mindy, anyway, Fast Like a Girl. And the idea is that you fast based on your menstrual cycle. So you have these power phases, you have 2 power phases during your cycle where you should fast for like up to 3 days. You don't have to fast for long fast, but you can fast for up to 3 days. Then you have this manifestation phase where you can do moderate level fast, which I believe is up to like 17 hours. And then you have your nurture phase, which is just leading up to your period. And during that time, it's not recommended that you fast. There are also some other recommendations around like following a keto diet when you're doing longer fasts, but otherwise, basically the gist of it is there are some times in your cycle where it's not a great idea to fast, other times where it's a really good idea to like do a longer fast. And I've always been sold on the health benefits of fasting. My parents have done fasting for a really long time, and they have had great success in terms of their health, in terms of their weight, with fasting. I have never had that much success in trying to fast. So I have a video about fasting, intermittent fasting on a 16/8 window, which I did when I was breastfeeding. Fasting for any longer than that isn't recommended where you're breastfeeding. And I did see some decent results over a longer period of time there doing intermittent fasting on a 16/8 basis, but doing longer fasts, I just have never been able to do it. I've always got to the point where my cravings for food have just overtaken, you know, so I've never been able to last it. And recently I tried to do a 24-hour fast, and I made it till like, so I was trying to make it like all day without eating, and I made it until like late afternoon, and I was just so hungry, and I had a meal then, and then basically over late afternoon and evening I think I basically just consumed almost all of the calories that I would have had in an ordinary day. So once I started eating, I was just so hungry, and I really had that attitude of like, oh well, I haven't made it, I tried it and I can't do it. And this might be stupid, but I joined a Facebook group which is connected to this book, Fast Like a Girl, and somebody was mentioning a 24-hour fast, and that they had got up, they had had breakfast, and then they had started their fast, and so they had broken their 24-hour fast the following day. So the 24-hour window had started after they'd eaten breakfast, and I thought, why don't I try this? Like, I always think I have to go for as long as possible without eating, and in my head I'd have to go for a whole day without eating and then eat the next day, and then it suddenly dawned on me, that is not a 24-hour fast. That is not 24 hours, because you fast the night before. Your fast begins after your last meal, which for me would have been my dinner the following day. So I'd already fasted for, I don't know, 10 hours by the time I've woken up in the morning. And then I'm expecting to do like a full 24 hours on top of that. You know, I'm basically thinking of doing a 36-hour fast as my first long fast, which is ridiculous. Like, how am I ever going to do that? So anyway, I'm trying that today actually, but I will film a separate video of my first 24-hour fast. So I'm going to try that. Food, check. Exercise, check. Weight loss, 2 pounds, not the best. But what are my wins here, and what's going to keep me going is I'm feeling great, feeling really good, really enjoying my food, feeling more energetic. Previously, when I've eaten like a lot of ultra processed foods and lots of sweets and chocolate, and then just felt like rubbish, now there is like no ultra processed kind of ingredient chocolate that you can get, and I do need to order some, but I don't have any of that around. You know, sweets are just crap and full of rubbish, right? So that's a big win. I'm feeling really good. But also, one of the big changes that I've made that I mentioned in a previous video is I have cut out diet fizzy drinks from my diet. Now, that is something that I've wanted to do. I've wanted to cut back on them for a very long time. And it was one of my New Year's resolutions actually to have a break from having diet fizzy drinks. I managed 2 days before I gave in, which is pretty pathetic. But there we go. So in recent years, I haven't really gone more than a day without having a diet fizzy drink, which is pretty embarrassing actually. I am for sure like addicted to diet fizzy drinks. So I have not had any diet fizzy drinks in almost 5 weeks, which is insane. I've had a couple of like sparkling waters with fruit juice, like no ultra processed ingredient drinks, when I have been like a cute farm and they've had something like that on offer, but I haven't sought those drinks out, so I don't want to replace what I was having directly with something else. So I've been having lots of rooibos tea, which I really like anyway. I was always drinking that, having lots of water, having lots of, well, not lots of, but having some fizzy water. Like, I don't like fizzy water as much as I liked diet fizzy drinks, so I've not been having like one a day, but that is something that I have been having when it's available, when I fancied it. So yeah, I'm really pleased with myself there, and I actually have to remind myself of what a big achievement that is, because if you'd have told me when I started this that I would have managed this long without having any diet fizzy drinks, and I still have some in the house, in my fridge. I still have 4 cans of Diet Dr Pepper, and they're just there, and I've seen them occasionally and I'm just ignoring them, and I don't know why I'm just keeping them there. Also because I feel like I can't bin things which are perfectly good and someone else might come in the house and want them. And I haven't said to myself that I'm never going to have a diet fizzy drink again, but I want to go as long as I possibly can, and it would be really great if I could manage the whole 100 days without having a diet fizzy drink. We can do this. So yeah, end of the 4 weeks, it's been an up and down. Overall, I'm really pleased, and I'm going to keep up with it, and I'm going to switch things up in terms of adding some fasting, following along with those concepts from Fast Like a Girl, and see if that makes any major changes. I will provide an update. So I'm doing a video of my first 24-hour fast, and then I will give another update as to how we're going on this 100-day challenge, and see if I can make some really serious long-term changes to my health. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, it really does help, and consider subscribing for more content from me, and